Okay, guys, I'm going to be making some other videos. It will be mainly political, about reading sources and reports from a reliable source. I've seen several people online, they'll be talking about, info wars, judicial wars, Fox News, CNN News, MBN, all of them. All of these sources, they leave out a lot of key details. Your best bet is to go to the sources and find the source in the reports and the lawsuits and the, signed court documents and everything else. Find them online. They are available. Do not let mainstream media make a decision for you. You are fully capable of coming up to your own conclusion over these matters. I'm going to be reading some things here or there, and basically my belief is all politicians are corrupt. No politician isn't corrupt. But since Trump is in office, I'm going to be focusing more on Trump. And, whoever gets elected next, we'll be looking at that person and so forth. So my main thing is to be looking at the actual court documents in a non-biased way so we can figure things out and just realize what's going on. I'm kind of stubborn. I don't like people telling me what to think or how to think or why I should think it. I like to come up with my own opinions for my own reasons. And I presume several of you would like to have that ability as well. I will be on the videos doing things like sharing links, showing you how I can go to those links. So if you're ever, curious, you can, look up the links yourself, as I believe that if you're truly want to make sure the sources are accurate, that you would look up the sources yourself and double check, which is another big advice I have. If you hear somebody on the news, on YouTube, or what have you, if they're not sharing their sources and the links of where they got it, that's highly suspicious. You should always double check the sources. And if they're not willing to share those sources, then something's wrong. And if they do share the sources of where they got it, how reliable is the source that they are getting their information from? Everything has become so twisted and confused, and in this information age, it's hard to tell nowadays what's a reliable source, what isn't a reliable source. And there's so many different sources that are, that swing one way or the other way, basically. And they all pick and choose. It's like cherry picking. Well, I like this source because they lean right. I like this source because they lean left. Your main part or your main source should be reports, court proceedings, and official documents that are all available on websites like, .gov. That, anything with the ending of .gov, Senate.gov, anything with the, the .gov is a lot more reliable and non-biased than any other source. So I'll be concentrating more so on the reports, court proceedings, and so forth. Let me know if this will interest you or not. I do plan on reading the Mueller report. It's long, it's tedious, and I do think, us, the taxpayers, paid for it. I think we should at least spend a little bit of time and, maybe 10, 15 minutes a day, just at least listen to a little bit, driving, taking a shower, doing dishes, whatever. I don't have a dishwasher. But anyway, stuff like that, I think the American people should be informed of, should be aware of what's going on. Because how are we going to vote, and how are we going to have petitions, like I'm all for term limits and stuff like that, if we don't realize what's actually going on. It's Congress, Senate, whatever you want to call it, the government, all of it's corrupt. I don't care if you're Democratic, I don't care if you're Republican. Like me, I don't fit in a box. Don't put me in a box. I come to my own conclusion on every single subject by doing research in a non-biased way. And that is the best bet for all of us, so we can form a better government, get some of these people out of Congress and Senate. Like I said, I don't go into a particular party. I just go by subjects, and if they lie a lot, which all politicians do, but some lie a little bit less than others, maybe, sort of, kind of. But anyways, I think we need to really have a look at what goes on in our country, because the way this government's going, I don't believe it is in the correct way, basically. We need to have term limits. We need to what's going on. And the mainstream media needs to quit trying to sway the public right or left. We can figure out, if you just give us the facts, non-biased facts, we can come up with our own conclusion. That's why I really don't watch hardly any news. I do read some articles here and then, but then I also fact check them, because they are just so bad about trying to convince you of their opinions on why they think it is and blah, blah, blah. We're smarter than that. I mean, we are very smart people. We don't need to be told what to think or how to think it or why to think it, when we perfectly have all this information at our fingertips. So I'm going to try to make it a little bit more convenient. Guys, I do struggle with some words, so bear with me. Like I said, I am an average person, so some of the words are just a little bit harder for me to pronounce. I try my best. There are words that I have a little bit of a harder time. I can read them, but the pronunciation is what kind of gets me sometimes, so bear with me. I'm sorry. And let me know if this kind of stuff would be interesting to you guys or what have you. Alrighty. Thank you.